Good afternoon. Welcome to Customer Effects Training Webinars. My name is Dale Richter, and today we're going to be talking about timelines within the SalesLogix Web Client or the SalesLogix Cloud. Now why don't you hold on just a second. I'm going to switch over to my web client and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you for joining me today. Hold on just a second. Okay, so here we are. I've opened up my web client and we're currently looking at the account Abbott Limited. Good old Abbott Limited. We always use them for all our examples. So on the record here, or the account for Abbott Limited, I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom of the screen so we can see our tabs here. And you see all the different tabs across the top here, and I've clicked on More Tabs. And underneath More Tabs, we have a tab here called Account Timeline. Now this is a tab that you've never seen before because we did not have that in the LAN client at all. So this is fairly new to all of us. But a timeline shows us the occurrence and duration of events such as activities, history, tickets, and opportunities over a specific period of time. All the past, all the present, and all the future. The timeline then shows up events in two different scales, which are called bands. The lower band shows events in the year in which they occurred. Then the upper band shows a particular time frame for greater detail, providing additional information about each event. So down in the bottom here then, you'll notice there are no scroll bars, but if you use your scroll arrows on your keyboard, you're able to scroll through the time here. So you notice down at the bottom here, I'm way back in 2007 on this particular example. And the reason I went way back here is that I wanted to show you there where phase 1 showed up, and that's an opportunity. And if I keep scrolling here, now we can see here in December 17th, around there, December 18th, phase 2 kicked in, even though phase 1 wasn't finished yet. And as I continue to scroll here, I see phase 2 finished. I also see some meetings showing up on here, some emails, some to-dos, some phone calls. And they're showing them in the date range down below here. Still in 2007, now I'm up in March. And I can continue to scroll along. Here you see this line here. This is a ticket, and we see the ticket number here. So it shows how long that ticket was open from about April 8th until about April 22nd. And if we wanted to learn more about that ticket, I can just click right on it here, and it shows, have they checked the BIOS version yet? We had some systems that shipped earlier from the manufacturer. Maybe they didn't have the most recent BIOS installed. So you can see the whole issue right here on the ticket just by clicking on it. Same thing for any of these other activities. If we click on this phone call here, we can see what the phone call was regarding. So for any of you that are more visual in your learning, you can use this timeline. It's a pretty cool little new feature that, like I said, we never had this before. Here it's starting to get pretty congested when we have a lot of different information in there. We see all of our phone calls, all of our meetings, any marketing that was done. Here's a meeting up here, but we can see exactly when all those were taking place in what time frames. So this would be pretty easy for a manager to scroll through and see everything that was happening with this record as time went on. And these keep going on because I think they're still open. There's still some open opportunities here. I'll keep scrolling, and you can see down in the bottom, now we're up in 2008. And if I continue to scroll, now I'm in 2009. Up in 2010. And here brings us up into March of 2010, where we see some more letters that have went out. We also have a phone call here. So it kind of follows all the way through all the different things that were happening with that account. Let me look up another account here. I'm going to look up Beach Industries. And just hyperlink on Beach Industries here. And again, it brings me up to the account screen. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom now, and remember, underneath More tabs, I just click on Account Timeline here, and now this is showing me around June 17th, which is today. I scheduled these earlier today. We have a couple meetings in here, and I have a ticket up here. So in the meeting, when I click on the ticket, the regarding, it's review proposal, and in the proposal itself, review proposal, and it gives me my date and time when I scheduled it and when I finished it. And I didn't have any notes in there, so those notes aren't showing up. But one of the big things to remember here is that when you scroll, there are no scroll bars along the bottom here. So just using your arrow keys on the keyboard is going to allow you to scroll through time here or scroll backwards through time. Now on this one, you'll know if I scroll way back here, and you see now I'm back in April, and back here, there we go. We got a new opportunity that was back in January, a couple notes in January, a phone call, and that opportunity went all the way until almost March 28th there, before that opportunity was closed. So it gives me again, it gives me a good overview of what's happening with this account at any time. Now remember also, if you wanted to know more about timelines, when you come in here, you have this little question mark up in the upper right hand corner. If you click on that question mark, you'll see here it brings up all your help screens and shows you exactly what a timeline is. So in this webinar, we looked at timelines in the SalesLogix Web Client and SalesLogix Cloud. This is a new functionality that does not exist in the LAN version. So check it out. It's a good visual way to check on how your account's doing and what it's been doing over a span of time. Thanks for joining me today, and have a great afternoon.